What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. And folks, look, the Democrats, the Kamala Harris campaign specifically, they're imploding right now. They don't know what the hell to do. Every single time she gets in front of a camera, her poll numbers go down. She loses more in the betting odds. It's just getting outright crazy. Trump is up by a large margin on the betting odds. This is getting outright insane. And with 2 weeks to go on the campaign trail, right? This is what she does. Check this out, y'all. Kamala Harris is literally withdrawing from the campaign on 2 full days in 1 week, inside 2 weeks before the election. No events Tuesday, no events Friday, must be exhausted or something. And then they post a list of what Kamala Harris is doing on this post on X. But as a matter of fact, this isn't just posts from X. I do have a news article for you guys just to ram this point home. This just came out yesterday. I happened to overlook it, or I would have covered this yesterday because, yeah, we're kind of in a slow news cycle. The only things you hear about is, you know, this poll came out, this blah, blah, blah came out. It's just campaign stuff right now. There's not a whole hell of a lot of actual news, which is what I like to cover. Political news specifically, but check this out, y'all. This is an opinion piece, so take it for what it's worth. But it does give you, you know, quite the mind's eye, if you will, of what's going on inside the Democrat Party itself. Check this out. This is from The Hill. What if Joe Biden was the better candidate all along? Oh, you can see it coming in, folks. You can see it coming in. These people are regretting what they've done with Kamala Harris. They're regretting that they just boosted her up to the top of the ticket and just took Joe Biden out. They're regretting this because, once again, when you do stuff like this, these sort of actions, yeah, it looks bad upon the campaign, if you will. When you leave out the voters, they don't get a say in who your choice is. Yeah, there's some problems with that. A lot of people see that and they're like, hang on, we didn't choose Kamala Harris. I mean, she was the vice president, but yeah, we voted for Joe Biden here. That's what you get with the Democrat Party, though. Folks, you have been warned. Let's get into it, though. With the November 5th election just over a fortnight away, here's an intriguing thought experiment. Yeah, thought experiment. Yeah, this is more like translating into reality, if you will. By most accounts, the election is still a horse race too close to call. But although... hang on, why the redundancy there? But although Vice President Kamala Harris quickly assumed the presidential mantle from Joe Biden and put in place an impressive startup. Impressive startup, huh? October has not been particularly kind to her. Oh, you gotta love that. An impressive startup. Yeah, she's not impressive. Like, these people are delusional. Just listen to her speak. That's all you got to do, folks. Donald Trump has closed the electoral gaps, and some believe he is actually leading. Hang on. He is, as a matter of fact. Like, it's not just a belief. See, that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats currently. A lot of these leftists, they just live in this false reality where they don't believe the polls, they don't believe anything unless it's in favor of themselves, right? Because currently in aggregate, in all of the polling, Kamala Harris is up like a half a point or something like that. In all the battleground states, you can go and look poll after poll after poll. In aggregate, Trump is up. You go to the betting odds, Trump is up by a large margin. By a very large margin. And these people still think, oh, well, Kamala Harris is winning, y'all. And she's good. Look at her debate performance. Yeah, she may have goaded Trump into talking about the rally situation, which, I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to go in after, right? Like, Trump should have handled that a lot better, to be honest with you, but that's all Democrats have. That's the reason she won that debate. She didn't give no substance. She never does. She can't. It's like she's incapable of giving you substantive policy positions, except for stuff like, oh, well, we want to generate an opportunity economy, and we want to give tax breaks to people. It's like, Come on, give us something. How are you going to secure the border? She won't even talk about that. She'll just talk about the aspirations of the people that want to come across our border illegally. That's all she seems to care about. Giving Lebanon $157 million freaking dollars. Blowing my mind in the process. No matter who wins, we have to ask, would President Biden have been a better candidate and choice despite suffering from the effects of age and 81 years? Aren't those the same thing? Like, come on, dude. This guy, like, somebody should have edited this for him. Like, I've honestly, I've read this whole thing out, so there's no surprises to me. But there will be some surprises for you guys. Almost assuredly, you're going to be like, what? That's crazy. But if I could, once again, I like to just sneak these in there. Y'all do me a big favor. I really need the help right now, y'all. Smash that like button for me. If you're new around here, please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this. And share this video with anybody and everybody. Enough of my plugging. Let's keep going. Further, suppose that the disastrous June 27th debate with Trump had not taken place. Oh, let's just say it didn't take place, y'all. Or that Biden had been firing on all cylinders that night. You know what? I believe he was firing on all cylinders that night. That is just the situation Joe Biden finds himself in right now. He is incapable. His brain is melting. He is suffering from old age. He can't think, speak, walk, hardly do anything anymore. Right? It's not physical. It's mental and physical. Would Biden have been forced to withdraw? And whether Harris loses or wins, some will ask whether Biden might still have been a better candidate. Bob Woodward's new book, War, might not be dispositive in representing Biden's strengths and weaknesses. The book does add weight to this thought experiment, though. Woodward paints a very positive picture of Biden's ability to lead and to govern despite making mistakes, most notably the disastrous withdrawal from Kabul. Woodward also reports that Biden's obvious decline was physical, not mental. No, I'm sorry. It was both. I'm sorry, it's both. When the guy can't speak, when he jibber jabbers on, Cadillac, gack,
Find the PACT Act into law.
Yeah, we got a problem here. That's not physical, and that's not a lifelong stutter either. I'm sorry. This was caused in part by prior medical conditions accelerating the effects of age on a body. Right. There were also the strains of high office. The president refused to limit his overwork schedule despite valid criticisms that he was on near permanent holiday in Delaware or Camp David. Now, do you understand what they just said right there? They're trying to tell you that, okay, so Biden was just overworked. He pushed himself so freaking hard, but he was constantly on vacation. Hang on. Those are, those, no. That doesn't match up there. Those are two totally different things. They're not mutually exclusive, if you will. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, guy. Whoever this guy is that wrote this article, I forget his name right off. But no, I'm sorry. Like, Joe Biden took more vacation days in 1 year than Trump did in 4 years. Yeah, that's insane. Joe Biden has taken more vacation days than Obama took. I'm just saying. And you're trying to make me believe that his disastrous debate performance and his mental faculties waning is because he's overworked, because he pushes himself too hard. But he's on vacation in 4 years more than a president was in 8. No, dude. This is the delusion that the leftists find themselves in, y'all. Trying to reconcile those two differences right there. Kamala Harris's role, as Woodward describes events, was not as significant as Biden's national security team, who were his band of brothers and sisters, and Woodward did not focus on domestic politics. Today's politics remain visual, whether on television or social media, with a constant flow of posts that millions of subscribers download every day. In fairness, Trump is an entertainer, showman, and salesman. He may be overweight and wear excessively long ties while obsessing about his finely coiffed hair, but he gets away with it. And Trump, like the Energizer Bunny, seems to have unlimited endurance. Now, hang on. Here's another reconciliation that we need to reconcile here coming from the left. The delusions coming from these people. They'll get out there and they'll tell you, oh, he's failing. He's senile, y'all. He's got dementia, as a matter of fact. He's got dementia. He's low energy right now. He must be exhausted. That's why he canceled all these interviews with CBS and CNN and hard partisan left-wing news organizations. Yeah, it's because he's tired, he's getting old, he's senile, and he's got dementia and all this other garbage. But he can't be all of those things and the Energizer Bunny and very entertaining in the same breath. He can't be all of these things. These people, once again, folks. But, you know, me trying to reconcile the worldview of a leftist here has driven me insane. The physical comparison between the two presidents could not be more striking. That must favor Trump and, in a small way, accounts for some of his widespread public support. He is also interesting. Love him or hate him, Trump is far from boring. The size of his audiences at rallies confirms that. Oh my goodness, these people, man, I swear. Harris is a generation removed from both presidents. As President Vladimir Putin slyly observed, she has a contagious laugh and a very buoyant and positive attitude. Okay, so maybe this is the problem with some of these people. I mean, I took that as serious. I did not get a hint of sarcasm in those. Let me know down in the comments if you got some sarcasm out of that. Maybe I portrayed it as sarcasm because I knew what was coming, but I'll read it again for you and let me know. Harris is a generation removed from both presidents. As President Vladimir Putin slyly observed, she has a contagious laugh and a very buoyant and positive attitude. That is refreshing and a counterpoint to Trump's bleak and dystopian view of the world. These people do not, and I mean do not, understand sarcasm. Do you really think Vladimir Putin was being serious when he said her laugh is contagious? No, it's one of the most annoying hen cackles I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Everybody agrees. I know, everybody agrees I'm being hyperbolic. But then you go to the next statement, Trump's bleak and dystopian worldview? Are you kidding me? Like, the dude is positive constantly. He wants to make America great again. He doesn't have a dystopian worldview. He has a very uplifting worldview of what he wants to do for the country. These people, though, all they see is the clips from leftist media. So they think that Trump is constantly angry, constantly yelling and screaming like Hitler. That's what they think. Like when you see, like, Hitler wasn't his speeches constantly. I'm sure for the people that he was around, he was a pleasant guy to be around, right? Like, think about that. Like, nobody that's evil is like that. But once again, all they see is the Hitler-esque parts of Donald Trump because they stay in their echo chamber. They don't see the good side of Donald Trump. They don't see the Donald Trump like this at McDonald's. Like, this is just iconic as hell now. Going to McDonald's. And once again, leftists don't understand sarcasm, satirical matter, anything like that, because now they're trying to poke and prod and say, oh, all this McDonald's garbage that Donald Trump did was staged. It was all staged. Right? Like, these people are going insane, y'all. Like, literally, they can't understand anything, it seems like. They literally said it's staged. Of course it's staged. Oh, and then they said, come to find out, everybody that went through the drive-thru was screened first. Like, come on, think about what you're saying. Of course, there's been 2 assassination attempts in the past 4 months on the guy's life. Do you think he's going to actually go into an operating McDonald's, right, and interrupt their lunch rush to go in there and work the fryer like an actual operating McDonald's and serve Big Macs to just anybody? Like, do you really believe that? No. Of course that's not going to be the case. Of course Secret Service is going to screen everybody going through. Of course it's going to be a McDonald's that was shut down for the day and only allowed certain people to come in to actually operate the restaurant for this event. It was a campaign event. It wasn't Donald Trump going in, filling out an application, getting hired on, doing all of his I-9 forms and all that tax form stuff and getting hired. No, it was none of those things. These people are nuts, y'all. If Biden were still the candidate, he would have to overcome these physical and visual disparities with Trump. To do that, Biden would have to mount an aggressive campaign to portray Trump as a convicted felon unfit for public office. For some reason, the Harris campaign has downplayed this conviction and his 3 other pending cases, as well as Trump's major character flaws. No, she hasn't, but maybe, they're all bogus. That's why they're not going in really, really hard on these. I wouldn't either, because they're garbage. They're just stupid. And anybody with a little bit of brain matter, with some rational thought, that actually read the indictments out would know that, what are they doing here? This is bogus. Just outright bogus, y'all. The public may have decided, as senior Democrats have, that Biden is too old to serve. Had he been reelected, Biden would have been 86 at the end of his second term. Given his age, it is not impossible that Biden could suffer a major health event. Yes, and we would have a Kamala Harris presidency anyway. Trump is only 3 years younger than Biden. He is currently not immune to the vagaries of health, as his vice presidential nominee, Senator J.D. Vance, understands. But Biden is not running. And with the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, Biden now has an opportunity to help conclude a peace agreement in the Middle East that would be Biden's legacy. One hopes he will pursue that opportunity. Do you really think that would be Biden's legacy? I highly doubt it. History is going to view Biden as the worst president in United States history, regardless of any peace agreements. Right? That war started partly because of the United States and the Biden administration showing nothing but weakness on the world stage. These people, I'm telling you, they live in a totally different world than everybody else. Their reality shows them something totally different than what reality shows the rest of the world. As a matter of fact, these people somehow they see something totally different. For people to watch the Bret Baier interview the other day and get on X and make posts saying, "Oh, she showed him," like actually think that she done a good job. Like, okay, so there's something wired backwards in some of these people's brains. Something is going on to where these people see something totally different than what everybody else in the world sees. It has to be, because in no world would you look at the debate performance and say Kamala Harris smoked Donald Trump. I'm sorry. She goaded him one time. One time she got him pretty good. but that was on like an irrelevant issue, right? Like that by no means means she won that debate. Like she gave no substance to anything at all. Anything. Of course, neither did Trump. Of course, Trump tried to ram the point home. They're destroying the country, which he did to perfection. But he still didn't give any substance as to himself. But that was just a terrible debate all the way around. I'm willing to admit that. But you can't get any of these Harris backers to admit that she can't speak, for crying out loud. How can we vote in, elect a president who has problems speaking substantively? Right? Like she can say words, of course. But there's no substance to what she says. And it's insane to me. As I have previously written, Americans may not know the winner right away, given the likelihood of contested districts and recounts. Yet, when the 47th president is decided, at some stage, people may wonder whether the best choice was Harris or Trump. Right. Some people, maybe. In retrospect, perhaps America would have been better served if the 46th president, Joe Biden, won a second term. No, I'm sorry. Nope, I doubt it. I highly doubt that. You want another 4 years of the last 4 years? That's what's going to happen. But we're going to continue going downhill, so it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. It's not going to get better, y'all. Like, these people are utter incompetence. Just the most incompetent administration we've ever seen. I know you might think I'm biased. I wasn't nearly as biased before I started doing this. I can promise you that. Like, the corporate press and Joe Biden's actions have pushed me further to the right, as a matter of fact, with all of this insanity that's going on, right? Like, all of the lawfare is just blew my freaking mind. Like, this guy really wants to destroy the judiciary system in this country by just weaponizing it for Democrats to go against Republicans, because that's exactly what they've done. It's been insane. Outright insane. That's the only way I could describe what has been going on. And this article was outright insane. But let me know down in the comments what you think about all this. These people live in a delusional world. They don't know left from right, or they think that left is right and right is straight or something. Right? Like they just don't know what's going on. They can't look at the political landscape and see what is actually happening. They think that right wing is the only extremist in the world, and they're only talking about violence, which that's going to be my next video, by the way. They somehow think that there's going to be like an upheaval, like the right is going to start a civil war or something like that. It's an utterly just ridiculous article that I came up with, so make sure and stay tuned for that. Y'all check that one out. But I think that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. And that's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.